Hi everyone, Jen Roque here at stampcampwithjen.com. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Summerfield, Florida. Thank you so much for taking some time on this beautiful Friday. Well, at least it's sunny and beautiful down here. I hope it's the same where you are. And thanks for taking time out of your day to join me. So, today I want to show you a couple of ways to do a technique called the Joseph's coat technique. It is really cool, really forgiving, so it doesn't have to be perfect. If you saw it the other day, I posted this card that I made for my son, and this actually uses the Joseph's coat technique in the background here. And you'll see I actually cut the center off of the background to make this pocket as well. So I'm going to show you how to do it two different ways. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first way I'm going to show you is the way I did it for my son's card. Now this way I just have a scrap piece of paper. This is not very big because I don't want to take up a bunch of your time showing you how to do this, but I do want to give you the basic idea. So since we're going to emboss it eventually, if you still have an embossing buddy, go ahead and rub your paper with that embossing buddy. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to lay this paper down. We are going to use a mask to cover it. So this mask is from the Basic Pattern Decorative Masks. These are really cool if you like to do technique stuff or want to try them out. They have a lot of great backgrounds. They have one that looks like a leaf for fall. They have trees, which would be great for Christmas. I really like this damask pattern for like Halloween or something more gothic looking, but you could really use it for more than that. I'm sure there are other ideas, but so what I'm doing right now is I'm just taking some washi tape that I have and I am taping down this mask so it doesn't move around while we apply our Versamark. Or actually, I'm sorry. I am getting ahead of myself. We need to color this first. I'm sorry. Okay, so the colors I used are Highland Heather and Balmy Blue. And what you need are some sponge daubers, okay? So we are going to take our colors and use our daubers. And I'm going to do the Highland Heather first. And you're just going to kind of color it in different sections. Very random. It'll kind of look like a camouflage, I think, when you're done. That's what it reminds me of anyway. And you can have lighter and darker sections. This part is really great because it doesn't have to be perfect. It's all very random, and the more random it is, the better it's going to look when it comes out in the end. So I'm just, like I said, there's no rhyme or reason to the colors. I'm just kind of throwing them down. So now we'll move on to the Balmy Blue and kind of fill in the white spots here. Okay. And if you overlap, that's fine because it'll make a different shade even, and you'll have even more dimension and color in your background here. And you make it as dark or as light as you want, it really doesn't matter. But like I said, I really like this because this part, it's gonna look a little funny and you're gonna freak out probably. I know I did the first couple times I did it, I was like, that looks really weird, but trust me, when we're done with it, it's gonna look really, really neat. Okay. So we've got our whole paper covered with our colors. We're going to move those to the side. Now we're going to take our mask, and I'm going to rub my embossing buddy over it one more time just to be sure. Okay. We're going to take our mask and we're going to cover our paper. And now I have a clean dauber and Versamark ink. And what I'm going to do is very heavily sponge the Versamark ink all over the mask on top of this paper. Now, the thing to keep in mind with this is you don't want to handle the paper too much because the oils in your skin will cause the Versamark and the embossing powder to not really stick like it's supposed to. So try to be careful once you've added all this Versamark ink and your embossing powder. Try to just hold it on the edges so you don't have to worry too much about smearing or having the oils in your fingers mess up your pattern here. Okay, so I think I've got just about all of it. You can kind of see because it gets a little shiny, and you can kind of see that it's there. Okay, so now we're gonna carefully remove the mask. I'm gonna see if I can show you. Oh yeah, you can kind of see yep, there you go. You can see the Versamark pattern on the bottom. So now what we're gonna do is we are gonna cover this whole thing in clear embossing powder. And this is where the magic starts to happen. So again, I'm gonna very carefully grab the edges and try not to mess up my pattern too much. Wow, oh, I love it so much. We haven't even embossed it yet, but this is so cool. This is such a fun pattern and fun technique. I really love it. I had so much fun making this for my son, and he thought it was really cool. Okay, so now we're gonna heat emboss it. So try to find a spot where you haven't embossed or you don't have embossing powder or Versamark. And just keep moving your heat tool around until you see kind of it start to melt and become really shiny. Okay, I'm gonna move it to where it's melted so that I can get this bottom section here. Oh, it's burning my finger. It's very hot. You can get like a pair of tweezers or a pair of tongs or something to hold this. It's probably smarter to get it not to move around so much. There we go. Okay, I think that's about it. Ooh, look how shiny it is. Oh, I love this so much. Okay. So I'm just gonna double check. It looks like I've got it all melted. Okay, so now comes the big wow moment. So we're gonna take our Memento Tuxedo Black ink, and this is the fun part. This is what I think kids would love. I mean, I love to do it, but kids could really get into this too. So you're just gonna take the pad and swipe the whole thing against it. And we're gonna do this side. I'm gonna try, I have a paper towel already, so I'm just gonna hold it with my paper towel. Oh, I love this. Isn't this so cool? Oh my gosh, you guys, I saw this a couple weeks ago. I'd never heard of this technique before, and I immediately knew I wanted to try it. Okay, so now we're gonna take our paper towel and rub it all over and try to get that excess ink that the clear embossing resisted. Oh, and there you go. That's how we did it with the masking and the sponge dauber. Isn't that so cool? And now you have all these different color variations in the background. I just love this. I think it's so neat. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the second way to do this. The second way is just with stamping. And this, I think, is probably the more common way that people do it. So I made a couple of example strips already. I kind of played around with it because, see, you don't have to use black. You just need a color that's darker than your underlaying colors. So you can kind of play around with it. I did this one. These are Blushing Bride and Coastal Cabana, and then I did Smoky Slate over the top. And this is the one I'm going to show you. This is Pool Party and Pear Pizzazz, and then I did Real Red over the top. So I'm going to show you this one real quick. Okay, So this one, I am actually using the stamps from this Peace and Joy set. This is from the new mini catalog that just came out. This, I would have to say, is my favorite set in the whole catalog. I love it so much. I love all of these little, the scripty words and even the stamps right here. So these stamps that we're going to use for this one are going to be like the little leaves and the holly and the, I guess this is supposed to be like sparkling, like snowflakes or diamonds or something. So that's what we're going to do for this one. So what I did, let me see. Oh, so I just took a block here and I put all of those little stamps. I'm going to try to put my hand under or a piece of paper or something so you can see here. It's a little bit easier to see. So I took all those stamps and I just kind of clustered them up together on a block. Okay. So this is what you need. And then we're going to take Versamark and I am going to ink up my whole pad. Oh, I'm jumping ahead of myself again, you guys. I keep forgetting to color the front. I don't know why, but we have to put our colors down first. So again, I have Pool Party, Pear Pizzazz, and we're gonna cover the whole thing in Real Red. So we're gonna color these first. So again, you need sponge daubers. I don't know why I keep forgetting. I'm just so excited about it, I guess. I keep forgetting to color everything first. So I'm gonna start with my lighter color. You can start with either one, but I'm gonna do big varying sections of Pool Party all around. And again, like I said earlier, you can do lighter, darker. A good variation is really important because that's what really catches the eye in the end, I think. Lots of drama with this technique, which is really fun. Okay, so there's the Pool Party, and now we're going to do our Pear Pizzazz and kind of fill in the sections. And like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. You just want to get the color in there. Don't want any white spots. You can add more as you need to. And I actually based this color palette off of the Tag Buffet set that's in the mini catalog. They have Pool Party and Garden Green, but I thought Garden Green might be a little bit too dark, so that's why I went with Pear Pizzazz instead. And then the Real Red I thought would be great to cover the whole thing. All right, so again, this part, don't worry. I know it looks weird and possibly ugly. It's kind of like a strange camo pattern that we're making. Now we're going to ink up our stamps. Okay. Use your embossing buddy if you have it. Make sure you get all those anti-static fibers off. All right. Now we're going to line it up. Trying to make sure you guys can see this really well. Stamp with even pressure straight down. And then I'm going to ink it up again. So you can kind of see where it's stamped, and you can see it stamped pretty well, which is good. That's what we want. Ink it up again. And stamp. I'm going to try to hold it where there's no Versamark. Okay, so now we've done that. So now we can, again, bring this over, put our clear embossing powder all over, flick that back side to make sure there's no excess. It's a little harder to do with this pattern because you just want to make sure that you don't touch anything. I mean, it's hard to do with either one, but it looks like I got all the excess. So you can see the embossing powder is covering it. So we'll move that to the side. And Get our heat gun out again and set it. Flip it. All right, it looks good. It looks like we've got it all set. You really want to make sure that you have your embossing powder melted and set so that when you rub the ink over it, it still has the image attached to resist the top layer of the ink. So now we're going to take our real red and just slide the whole pad over the top. I'm going to flip it. Oh, this is so cool, guys. I love it. All right, and now again, we're gonna take our paper towel and rub the whole thing to get that excess ink off of the top of our images. And voila, there we have it. There's the second way. That's with stamping. Isn't that so neat? You have all those variations of color. I just think this is the coolest thing. So I am going to make a card with this piece and post it on my blog tomorrow at www.stampcampwithjen.com. So I hope you'll tune in tomorrow and look out for that card, as well as this video, so that you can watch the replay if you need to see it, to remind yourself how to do the techniques. Just a couple of reminders. There are lots of new changes this week on the online store. We had a completely new overhaul with the online store, and the new mini catalog is now live. So you can order this Peace and Joy set that I demonstrated. It actually comes in a bundle, and you get 10% savings when you get the bundle. I also updated my Campfire Rewards program this week. So if you haven't read all the changes, go ahead and head over to stampcampwithjen.com to see all those changes. This Wednesday, I'll be competing in a blog hop. Mary Fish's Pals community, they do a monthly blog hop the second Wednesday of every month, and I always participate. I love doing it. This month is the theme is My Happiest Season, so everybody's gonna showcase projects from their favorite season of the year. So I haven't decided. I really like Christmas and Halloween and Thanksgiving. Really all the seasons. So I haven't decided exactly what I'm going to do yet, but I'm sure I'll come up with something at the 11th hour like I always do. All right, guys, so next Friday I will actually have the new Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine here, and I'm going to do a demonstration and show you the differences between the new Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine and the old Sizzix Big Shot. So, all right, well, I hope you enjoyed this demonstration, and again, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to join me. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you'll let me know in the comments below, and if you shop with me, please use my host code for August. And if you have any questions at all, feel free to let me know, and I hope you guys have a great day, have a great weekend, and until next Friday, stay safe and happy stamping. All right, bye guys.